Hello, and welcome to In the Cool of the Day. Thank you for joining us for today's show, Get a Life. I am your host, Rosie Rogers, joined by my co-hosts, Dawne Horizon and Annette Tywman. Together, we are Rosie Rogers and the Life Squad, ready to coach you into living your best and healthiest life, mind, body, heart, and soul. Today, we'll be talking about no more holiday blues, because we know 'tis the season to be jolly.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly,
while visions of sugar plums dance in my head.
Away in the manger, no crib for his bed. And all of those other wonderful, wonderful, wonderful songs and lyrics and carols and cooking and shopping and gifts and holiday this and holiday that. 'Tis the most wonderful time of the year. However, we do understand that for some, it might not be such a wonderful time of the year. So regardless of which holidays you celebrate, because there are numerous during this season, regardless of which holiday you celebrate, we know that sometimes during this time of the year that there are some people that are having some tough times. And while others are celebrating, there are some who are struggling or just having some challenges. So together, the Life Squad, we want to encourage you to beat those holiday blues. Do not let those holiday blues get you down. Make this the most wonderful time of the year, however you're choosing to celebrate or being with family or whatever it is you're doing. We want you to make this a good time of the year. Find happiness no matter what's going on. So remember, in John 10:10, it says, I'm going to read it. For he came that we will have life, Jesus, and have it more abundantly. The Amplified version of that says, I came that they may have life and enjoy life, have it in abundance to the full until it overflows. That sounds like the good life to me, right? Right? So if you are ready to have the best holiday that you can, mind,
body,
heart,
and soul, then let's talk.
Yes, let's talk.
Okay, so Dawne, what are your plans for the holidays?
I am focused on creating memories. So since I have my 2 little girls and my 3 are grown and gone, we're going to do some fun things around the DMV and create new traditions.
Okay, wow, sounds exciting. Can I tag along?
Sure, the more the merrier.
And what about you, Annette? How are you spending the holidays?
I will be working.
Working?
Yes, I am working throughout the holiday season. I'm actually working on the exact holidays, but it's okay because I work in a therapeutic residential program, and so the kids don't get to go home, so we'll all be spending the holidays together.
Oh, wow. So what are you going to do?
I'm going to be having fun. We're going to be watching movies, eating really good food, and we also had a lot of people that were able to donate some presents. So we'll be able to wrap presents with our kids as well as be able to give some out to their families as well.
Okay, so you're saying that the things that you would traditionally do with your family, you're going to do with the residents, your clientele.
That's right. I'm going to do it with my clients, my kids, absolutely.
Wow. So now that's great. Because, you know, sometimes we have to make adjustments. So your adjustments are you have 3 adult children. And so instead of doing some of the things that maybe you've done in past years where all of you are together, you have to let grown people be grown people. So I'm sure they, you know, want you know, but for some people that's an adjustment, you know. But what you're choosing to do is you're choosing to make new memories and not hold on to the, you know, things that used to be. And then you are absolutely choosing to, you could be really, really down and out about not spending time with your family, but you're bringing hope and you're bringing something to the residents, your clientele, I like to call them, the children that you serve, and you're bringing those traditions to them. And that's wonderful because they don't get to go home.
Right,
right,
Now, I'm
right.
sure you probably on the back end, you're going to do a little celebrating when the
Oh, I get paid double.
You get- oh,
okay,
okay.
hour for hour. So
Double
no money comes
paycheck.
in, I will celebrate all over again. Okay. Yes.
So, but again, that's making the adjustments
Yeah.
and not letting the circumstances dictate how are you
Exactly.
going to feel.
Right.
You've already made a decision that you're going to, do things differently. So ask me what I'm going to be doing.
So what are you going to be doing for the holidays?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. Okay, so here's the deal with my family. My children are all adults, my 3 sons. We're a football family, so it's always been football. So for years and years, probably almost 20 years, for Thanksgiving especially, we've never had the traditional Thanksgiving dinner because
right.
they're either gone to play a game or away for a tournament. So we always
Okay.
had this huge Thanksgiving breakfast. So that's kind of our tradition. And we have this big breakfast, and then everybody scatters and or a meet up later for the football game or whatever. And then for Christmas, I don't know. But so my plans are always just kind of spontaneous. But I've learned to just let that be the best time, of the year for us.
Okay.
It's figuring it all out, like where we're
Yeah.
going to be, what we're going to be doing, what game, whatever is going on. And that has become like tradition for us is not really about gift giving. Of course, I give gifts to the grandkids, but for us, it's more about the time. It's more about just spending the time together. So you may get a gift, you may not.
Right.
They're so creative. I love my sons. I think they get the creative bug from me.
I think
But
they
they just they give me these things that I absolutely adore. Like last year, I think I got a light bulb, and my son says, "Put all your new dreams into the light bulb." So this little fuzzy balls. But so. But that's our family. That's kind of how we do.
Yeah.
But really, beating the holiday blues is about learning to make some adjustments because things may not be the way they used to be. They might not be the way you want them to be. But you have to make those adjustments. Now, coming from the perspective of the mind. As a part of the Life Squad, my assignments are always about the mind and the soul. So coming from the perspective of the mind, our thinking is the control center for our lives.
Yes, absolutely.
Our mindsets, our thinking, our thoughts, all of those are our control center. The Bible says in Romans 12:22, be ye transformed, how? By the renewing of your mind. And that's how key our thinking and our mind is, so much so that God says be transformed. So rather than thinking in old ways and, dwelling on old things and old thoughts, we have to learn to think on different things. And the Bible also says in Isaiah that God's thoughts are much higher than our thoughts. His ways are high. His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are much higher than our thoughts. So years ago, I cued in on that. And I said, okay, well, if it's my thinking that's controlling my life, and I teach this in my Get a Life University in our course on Get Your Mind Right, man. Well, our class motto is, my thinking got me to where I am today, and my thinking will get me to where I want to be tomorrow. So I teach how, in our thinking and God's thoughts being much higher than ours, that's not to give up and say, well, I can never think like God, or I can never love like God, or I can't even see myself the way God. The key to it is find out how God thinks. Okay, if his thinking is different from the way I think, find out how God thinks.
Right.
And I always say, how is it you're gonna find out how God thinks? What do I say?
Gotta read the word.
You got to read his mind. You got to read the word. You have to read God's mind. So in there, you will find out how he thinks. Now, this is what I teach. Transforming thinking isn't achieved by reading one scripture or a book or hearing one message or a seminar. You just don't get it there. Transformation comes from 3 ways. 1, you have to acknowledge that your thoughts determine the quality of your life. 2, you have to have the willingness to release the old thinking so that you can embrace the new and replace it with new thinking and new beliefs. And 3, you have to have the constant exposure to new information that will lead you into new ways of thinking. So rather than dwell on something that may be causing you to not be having such a happy day holiday season, you know, then you have to change that. You got to stop thinking about the old, or stop thinking about the losses, stop thinking about what's hurting, stop thinking about those, stop thinking about what you can't afford. Don't think about what you cannot do. But you got to change that and start to think about, well, what can I do? How can I get beyond this? How can I, you know, create new memories? How can I turn it around? So transformation always starts in our thinking, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So now, how does this all tie into beating the holiday blues? Again, it's the thinking that turns into our actions, because when we dwell on something, we start to talk about it. You know, we start to complain, oh, it's not going to be a Merry Christmas for me, or it's not going to be a happy holiday for me, or it's, oh, I don't know what you're so happy about because this happened. So our thoughts turn into our talk. And then once we start talking about it, that often turns into our actions. So we got to learn to think differently so that we talk differently, and then we'll act differently.
That's right. Yep.
Okay, ladies. Now listen. We want to give everybody like the 12 days of Christmas. We can sing this if you like. No. Okay, maybe not. But we want to give you 12 did you knows. Now, not the typical did you knows, like did you know how to bake a pumpkin pie? No, it's not that. But it's our version of some did you knows. So here we go. Did you know that it's the perfect time of the year just to spend some time with yourself doing things that you enjoy doing?
Yes. I like that.
Yes.
Did you know it is the perfect time of year to do something charitable?
Absolutely.
I like that. Yep.
Did you know that this is the perfect time of the year for you to make something that you like and to give it away to someone who may be alone for the holidays?
Oh, or I can buy something that I will want and gift it to them.
Yeah, that's even better. I like that.
And hope
yeah.
maybe they'll give it back to me. No. Okay. All right. So, did you know that now is a perfect time of the year to look back on your accomplishments of the year, because everyone has accomplished something, and then celebrate that, maybe with a cookie.
I love it.
A
small
cookie. Okay, Miss Body over here said we can only have a small cookie. Because I know she's going to want to, you know, talk about all this healthy eating and all that over the holidays.
Have fun eating healthy.
Oh my gosh. You have fun eating
Did you know
too.
it's the perfect time of year to invite someone over that may not have family, and you can spend time together, or you can meet out someplace and just lift each other up?
That's a great idea.
That is so
a great
sweet.
idea.
I
I
like
know,
that.
especially if you live in an area where military people are. A lot of times they don't get to go home for the holidays.
That's true.
So that's absolutely great. Or just, you know, get out and, you know, meet other people. And that's great. I like those ideas and
like
those
that.
did you knows. Those are things that we can use to help us beat the holiday blues, right?
Absolutely.
So we're going to get ready to take a short station break. But we will be right back after these special announcements. Now, when we come back, we're going to share our other 6 Did You Knows, as well as Dawne and Annette are going to share from the perspective of the body and the heart. I can't wait to hear it, so I hope you'll stick around to hear it too. Don't touch that dial. Welcome back to In the Cool of the Day with today's segment, Get a Life with Rosie Rogers and the Life Squad. So as promised before we went on break, we're going to finish up our list of Did You Knows, and then we're going to allow Dawne and Annette to share from the perspective of the body and the heart. So let's finish up where we left off.
Okay.
Did you know that this is the perfect time of year to make a long-distance phone call to your family or your friends, or even call your neighbor? Check up on them.
You, since it's the neighbor, you can even go knock on the door, right?
Yes.
Just see how they're doing.
Yeah.
I like that. And you know what's so special is when you use your cell phone, it's not really even a long distance
We don't
calling,
get charged
right?
anymore. Nope. Times have changed.
Okay, so did you know that it's the perfect time of the year to treat yourself to a spa or to a hot bath? You know, just sit at home and get your little candles if you want to, and a small piece of pie and that cookie that I was trying to get earlier. Now's the perfect time,
Her and
right?
this cookie.
Just get a little piece.
So after you have that cookie, it'll be the perfect time to exercise.
Oh,
To work the cookie off, but exercising releases endorphins that help you to have that happy feeling.
that's true.
Yeah,
That is
we
true.
need that. We need that. We need that.
This is also the perfect time of the year to take yourself out on a date.
Ooh,
Yes,
I
get
like
dressed up,
that.
go to your favorite spot, order what you want to eat. Yes.
All by
enjoy yourself.
myself.
You don't have to
Yeah.
share.
No, you have to share, right?
Might meet someone, you never know.
I know. I like that because a lot of times people are spending time wishing they had somebody take them out, or wishing they could go somewhere, or wishing, you know. So, and that says is take yourself out. Go on your own date by
That's
yourself. Don't even have to worry about nobody else making you late. Just go. All right. So, did you know that this is the perfect time of the year to do something on your to-do list, but I don't feel like doing it, I don't want to do it, and I've been putting it off from doing it.
Man.
That list. Because see, I have two lists. I have my to-do list, and I have my really need to do, but don't feel like wanting to do list. So it's the perfect time of the year to knock off at least one of those things off of that I don't feel like doing it list.
I
Right?
think that's great.
That's great.
Did you know it is the perfect time of year to go out and meet new people? Maybe while you're shopping or browsing, but set a point that you're going to go out and meet somebody new, at least two people.
At least two new people. Okay, now how do you do that if you're not the kind of person that just like walk up and be like, hi?
Well, I'm friendly, so I'll just be like, hi, I'm Dawn, how are you? But
gosh.
not everybody can do that. So
Right.
maybe you'll bump into them by accident and be like, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, can I help you?
So accidentally, intentionally, on purpose, because I was trying to. But
Or
that's
if
good.
you're looking at something, you could say, oh, what do you think about this shirt or this blouse or this cookie?
Oh, yes. I'll
get the cookie in there.
Right? Okay.
Okay. And did you know that this is also the perfect time of the year to love yourself?
Aww. Just love myself.
Yes, why not?
Oh, after I go out on that date, I'm just going to love myself. Right? Okay, so talk about loving yourself. This seems like the perfect way to just, kind of jump right in and talk about
Yes.
matters of the heart.
Well, part of loving yourself is learning how to listen to your heart. And during this season, we all know that, like you said before, time of love and joy and happiness, but also this time can bring up other emotions as well. Loneliness, anxiety, stress, and for many people, even loss and grief. Now, I can relate to that because back in 2005, on December 2nd, I lost my maternal aunt. And then 19 days later, we lost my maternal grandmother. That was extremely hard on my family. It's really hard to celebrate because the time that you really want to be happy and have fun and experience joy, you're grieving. And I'm currently going through that right now as I've lost 3 people in the span of a week and a half. But this is what I learned through those times. Number one, I'm not unique in this experience. We've all experienced loss. And around this time, this could be someone's very first time of celebrating a holiday without their loved one. Or it could be experiencing loss of a friendship or a relationship or just loss of a dream. But what I've learned to do is decide to feel happy. And I know that sounds cliche and maybe even kind of cold, but what I mean by that is during that time, I decided to reach out to my family, reach out to my friends, and talk about them. And we've actually have some new traditions that we start using, and we reach out, we started making some of their favorite foods that they would enjoy.
Yeah.
We started teaching the next generation the recipes that maybe only my grandmother knew. And we actually decided to come together as a family and to celebrate them.
That's great.
And I've learned just to be very intentional with my time and to be in the moment and to celebrate everyone and to really not just ignore the fact that they're not here, but to celebrate that they were here and to celebrate that I'm still here and that we're still here.
Right.
So reach out and talk to someone and enjoy and decide to honor them the best way you know how.
That's great.
Wow.
And you said one of the key things is reaching out and talking
Yes.
to someone.
Yeah.
one of the best ways to be holiday blues is to not be alone.
Yes.
You know, no matter what you're feeling, what you're going through, just do not be alone. You know, just come out of that darkness, come out of that space, talk to somebody, tell somebody, you know, have conversations. It's okay.
Yes.
Because just like you said, you've experienced that. You can relate to someone else who's experiencing loss during the holiday seasons. So the really, really, really big key in these challenging times is not to be alone.
Exactly.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So Dawn, I'm sure you have something to add. You're gonna tell me how to exercise off my cookie.
Well, you can meet people at the gym.
That's true. That's true.
But it's very important for us to take care of our body during this time of the year. Some people are so busy with festivities and family and things like that that they neglect their self, that they neglect sleep. And then sometimes the opposite is also true, where they may not have family and friends around, but they're not giving themselves the time that they need to replenish their body. And like you said, we need to get out, we need to be around other people and find things that we can do together. One of the things we love to do around the holidays is cook.
Right.
And eat.
Right.
That's fun. But we have to do the body good because we want to have a nice body when we get older.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we want to eat in moderation. So you want to indulge in whatever your family's making, that cheesecake, that brownie, that cookie, or, you know, maybe it's collard greens and mac and cheese. That's one of my favorites. So the key is go ahead and enjoy it and have it. Just don't overindulge, okay? And then we want to, let's see, save some calories for like the food that you really like or like the dessert. And you can do that by drinking water instead. So maybe you don't have grandma's sweet tea. That might be like 500 calories. Or that lemonade or that eggnog, which I love. So you just want to pick and choose what you're going to do so that you can still enjoy yourself and you don't feel like that person in the corner that can't have what everybody else is having. And that's one of the ways that you can still treat your body good and enjoy family and friends or neighbors and enjoy the festivities at the same time.
That's good.
All right, so I get that. Now, I've heard also that in addition to, you know, this time of season, the holidays, and people suffering loss, and just being lonely or sad about income or whatever it is, that also it's the wintertime.
Yes.
And then sometimes, well, not sometimes, but in the wintertime, we're not getting that sunlight. We're not getting out as much. So that also can bring on the blues.
Yes.
So can you tell us about like the sunlight and opening up the...
Sunlight helps to give your body vitamins and things that you need to uplift you. And I remember going through this time in my life with this winter blues when my children were very young and just being indoors all day long, and then it gets dark early. So it's like you have more dark hours than light hours. And I remember feeling, you know, pretty depressed. And then I just had the children around because I was blessed enough to be a stay-at-home mom. So it was a really tough time. So I had to really talk to myself and pick myself up out of that depression, take the children out, find something to do. Even if I didn't have the money to do it, go outside and find something fun to do or something free in the neighborhood so that I can get out and not have those sad feelings.
Right. So getting that sunlight is important.
It is very, very
for our
important.
body. Now you said something else that I think is key, and you said you talked to yourself.
Yes.
And that is so instrumental in, you know, going back to the thinking and how our thoughts turn into what we're saying. It is so instrumental. Now, I talk to myself. And let's say I did really, really want that cookie, you know, then I know how to talk myself out of not overeating that cookie. You know, I know how to say, let's say, for instance, Skittles. I love Skittles. I just love the cute little, you know, the little colors and you pop them, you know, and all that. So, but I had to retrain my thinking about Skittles. So now I call Skittles poison. So they're poison for me because they're not a part of my weight loss plan. They're not a part of my healthy living plan. They're not a part of my goals. So they're poison to my goal. So now when I go to the store, rather than getting that big bag of Skittles because they're so cute and rainbowish and all that other stuff, but I pass by, it's like, you poison, you will not get into this body. You are poison. You're poison. You're poison. I declare you poison. And I talk to myself and I walk away without the Skittles. So talking to ourselves is so key to success.
It is.
You know, and I know you talked about the tea and the lemon and the lemonade and the water. Can you tell us about putting lemon in your water?
Yes. So I'll do that sometimes if I go to a restaurant. Again, I want to save calories for my food so I can enjoy the food. And so I'll order maybe hot water. Hot water helps to digest fat. It helps with greasy food. So if you want to have a fried chicken, just have some hot water after to help kind of get rid of some of that grease and that fat. But when you put the lemon in it, fresh lemon, you want to squeeze it inside the hot water, it helps to balance the body. It helps to alkalinize the body. So it reduces the acid level. Fried foods are very acid, meats are very acid. So just by doing that, you can help to reduce the acid level.
Excellent. So I can eat all the fried food I want.
I
just
didn't
drink
say
some
that.
hot water.
Moderation is
Okay,
key.
I was trying. But I believe you, Dawne, and I believe you because I know that you're a massage therapist and you are also a holistic coach and all that other stuff. So I really do. I do believe what you're saying. So, and I thank you to also Annette, because I know that you are a goal strategist.
Yes.
And we take to heart the things, the tips and the things that you are sharing with us. And I appreciate you being a part of the Life Squad team. And what you add to the team so that we can be able to talk to people about the mind, the body, the heart, and the soul, and the whole entire you. So it is my pleasure. And from the Life Squad, we just wish you happy holiday seasons. We encourage you not to be alone. You can beat the holiday blues. Don't let not having money to buy something or not having certain people around, don't let that deter you and make things sad for you. Be determined. Talk to yourself. Change your thinking, okay? So listen, our time is up, and we hope that you have enjoyed today's segment talking about beating the holiday blues. I am Rosie, and we are the Life Squad. I have with me Dawne and Annette, and I hope that you're already planning to tune in next time as we continue to give you tips and useful information to help you live your best and healthiest life, mind,
Body.
Heart.
and soul. I'm Rosie.
And I'm Dawne.
And I'm Annette.
Thank you.